Hey guys, this is Mr. Frank. Right now we are going to assemble our pegboard. So the first thing we need to do for an assembly file, we need to open that assembly file. We need to create a new document. And this is new for a lot of you. So we need to look here. We've already created standard parts. We've done some drawing files. But we have not touched the assembly files yet. This is what we want right here. Standard.iam. Next thing we need to do, once we're in this assembly file, we have to place all of our parts. So we need to go up to the Place tab up here, and we need to find all of our pieces. So circle peg, that would be one of them. Put it in there. I'm actually going to zoom out so I can see it. There we go, and find our leg. Now how many legs do we need? We'll need 2 legs. So I'm going to click OK there. So I've got my 2 legs in there. We're going to need our square peg. There we go. Put that right there. And the next thing we'll need is our pegboard itself. The pegboard. Now I have the triangle in mind right now. You probably will not have that triangle yet. Do not worry about that. One of the good tips that we have right here is we want this pegboard. You may want to rotate it around a little bit, and if you right click you can find free rotate, and that'll pop up this directional circle here, and we can actually start rotating it around to kind of what we want. So I'm going to put that's fine for me right now. Okay, so that's going to be there. Next thing I want to do, I'm going to actually make sure that right there, this component right here, notice when I highlight over all these different pieces, they highlight in the screen. I'm going to pin this down. I'm going to constrain it. So I need to go over here, I need to right click, and I'm going to ground it. So we're going to ground the pegboard itself. So you get this little pin icon right there. Right click, ground it, and what that does is now I can't move that part, but I can move every other part in here. So everything's going to go on to this. Constrain tab. This is what we'll be using up here, this button. We're going to need to, for this, we're only going to use the mate constraint. We will need to use flush here, mate, and click flush in a second, but right now we're just going using mate and make sure the solution mate is clicked. So let's look at the circle first. That's the easiest one. If I click on, see how the center axis shows up? I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to kind of zoom in on my circle, and the center axis of the circle shows up. I'm going to apply that. So what that does now, this cannot move any way but up or down. We've constrained it in there. We've given it a set of rules. Now, there's more than one way to do this, but we're going to now lock the square peg in there. Now think of it like gluing this into place. We have to think of where we need to glue it into place. So I'm going to, you can do this multiple different ways too. You could use edges, you could use flat surfaces, but the one way I do it isn't necessarily the only way. So I'm going to take this flat surface right here. I'm going to rotate this around and say that needs to go in right here. Awesome. But we actually have to do something more than that, because right now it's still going to move for me. Since we have that in to right there, we're going to now take this side and mate it with that side right there. So again, constrain, click on that, rotate around, that, apply, and now that's constrained in there. All we can do is go up or down with it. It does not move side to side. Alright, next thing, one of the things I am going to do, I'm going to right click and I'm going to free rotate this guy. So I can rotate him around so it just looks nicer there. There we go. And we're going to have to do a few different constraints for the legs. So if I use constrain, Again, there's a few different ways to do this. You don't have to do it my way. I'm going to take this flat surface, and I'm going to definitely want that to stick to this flat surface. That's perfect. The other thing we need to do, so now if I just move it around, it's still not locked in there. So I'm going to want to make sure that this edge back there, or I can do this top lip right here. We're going to try an edge, but this edge is going to be lined up with the pegboard edge, top of the pegboard edge. So those guys are mated now. You could do that differently. That's how I did it. The next thing, this is where we're going to change it. So right now, this moves just back and forth, side to side right there. But we want it to stay in one place. So what we're going to need to do is constrain, use flush on this. So I can flush this side with this side, and now it's not going to move anywhere. So I'll do this really quick on the right side of this pegboard again. So I'm going to constrain this part with this part. And even though it's crooked, that's okay. I'm going to do this a little differently than I've done before. I'm going to constrain the upper lip of this to the top. And that worked. I didn't use the edge like I did on this leg. And now we have to flush the sides. And you've got your pegboard all nice and neat. It's pretty cool. Alright, now it's your turn.